Hi, this is Nicholas Yock, a registered migration and education agent from Pathway to Oz. And today I'm going to discuss with you the Prospective Marriage Visa. So the Prospective Marriage Visa, or Subclass 300, is perfect for applicants who are outside Australia, applicants who intend to marry an Australian citizen or permanent resident, and applicants who do not meet the de facto or spousal requirement. If you do meet the de facto or spousal requirement, you would just apply for the standard sort of partner visa. You wouldn't apply for the prospective marriage visa. Basically, you'd only apply for it if you don't, you can't build up sufficient documentation to meet, the de facto requirement. There's a link below with some of the documentation you would need. So check that out. Once you apply for the prospective marriage visa, they would take, some time to process it. And then once it is granted, you would have up to 9 months to enter Australia and marry, your Australian partner. Once you are then married, you'd then sort of transition or apply for the standard Australian partner visa. So, the notice of intention to marry, it is a very important form. What it is just it's a couple of page document that your Australian partner would take to a marriage celebrant. And basically on it, he would say, look, it is my intention to marry, this person on this date at this location. The marriage celebrant would sign it off. It's not a marriage certificate. It's not a, de facto certificate. It's nothing like that. It's a completely separate document. And, to be honest with you, quite often we've had people, push back the dates that they've intended to marry after they've provided it. But it's just, a bit more of an indication that you are serious and you are genuinely intending to get married, that you can give to immigration when you're applying for the visa. Please note, you will need to be outside Australia when you apply for this visa and when the decision is made. However, once you do apply for this visa, there's nothing to stop you from sort of entering, on a standard visitor visa. You just need to go out when the decision's made. Look, some of the common documentation required to apply for this partner visa, you don't need as much documentation as you would for the standard de facto requirement or standard partner visa. But you do need to show that you are in, a genuine and loving relationship and that you do intend to marry in the future. So some of the documentation you would need include, past travel tickets, hotel bookings, photos, like correspondence showing that you're chatting, statutory declarations from friends and family, any other relevant documentation you have. If you've got a joint bank account, great. If you transfer funds to each other, great. If you've lived together for a short period of time, perfect. The only other major thing that you'd really need would be a notice of intention to marry. So your Australian partner in Australia would go and see a marriage celebrant and basically fill out a form which is, we intend to marry, on this date in the future. I'd set that for a long way in the future as well, probably 18 months. Look, so the processing time for this visa, it's not particularly quick. So the standard processing time for a prospective marriage visa is somewhere around 16 to 18 months. We've had some applications take as little as 6 months. Some applications take 2 years. Obviously, if you would like to obtain a visa as quickly as possible, it's really important you lodge a decision-ready application. In addition to this, I understand that you might not, want to spend that long apart. As I said before, you can potentially do a visitor visa. You could potentially apply for a visitor visa, build up your documentation on shore, and then just apply for a standard partner visa, or just the prospective marriage visa. So once granted, the prospective marriage visa allows you to live, work, study in Australia. A lot of other perks. You can also access Medicare. So what is the cost? It's not cheap. It's not cheap. $7,715 is the current price. Obviously prices do move, so check that before you lodge. And so what's the pathway to permanent residency? So as mentioned before, the prospective marriage visa is only a temporary visa. Once it is granted, you do have 9 months to enter Australia. You then have to marry your partner, and then you'd apply for the standard partner visa. So when you do hold the prospective marriage visa and then you move on to the standard partner visa, you don't need to pay that big the big visa application charge again. It's quite small. I think it's only, $1,200 or $1,300 to apply for the partner visa if you hold a prospective marriage visa. Look, so this visa, it's not for everyone. it's definitely for people who have maybe met their partner overseas, they can't meet the de facto requirement, they don't have enough documentation, they haven't lived together for long enough, but they do love each other and want to spend the rest of their lives together. I hope this gave you a general overview of the Prospective Marriage Visa. If you do have any questions about the Prospective Marriage Visa, Partner Visa, or so on, feel free to contact Pathway to Oz. And we can chat with a registered migration agent who can talk you through the options and go from there. Thank you.